All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 770. I'm your host, GBD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who's also announcing a change to his fee rates, Wombat.
I am always changing my fee rates, so you really got to be on your toes with my
For people
TOs.
who are using the Wombat engine, I hope you read the fine print, because you're fucked.
Mm-hmm. I charge, it's for every time you download the game I charge, and every time you delete the game I charge.
Every time you think about the game,
Mm-hmm.
if you tweet about the game, you get a bill. That's a charge.
Yes. Yeah. If you buy the game, you get a charge. And if a relative buys the game, they get charged and you get charged.
You
That's
can
a double
also
charge.
gift charges
Mhm.
to other people.
Yeah, that's a charging.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Did we do a show last week? No.
No, we did not.
Hard to keep track. The summer's over now, so we have to stop slacking, sort of.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I don't know.
I'll take your
think
word
so.
for it.
I think that's
that
what
sounds like a
happens.
good excuse. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen, and then you do a show every other week. How's everybody doing? Anything exciting happening?
No. I mean, basic like teenage drama. That's what I got going on, but nothing even that terrifying.
Hmm.
Yeah, the child is double booked tomorrow, so we're trying to figure out if there's any way to make both things work. And I don't think there is no way.
Cloning.
Oh, the way to make both things is what you choose one.
Yeah, I know. So that's what we're figuring out.
Nice.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, no, it's not. Nothing will work out.
Let's go to nothing.
I know.
Then nobody
How
feels
was
left
your
out.
How was your weekend, Cheapy?
My weekend was good. I turned 50.
Happy
which is-
birthday!
thank you. You were there to celebrate this
I
weekend.
was. Mhm.
And now I'm old.
I was there in spirit.
Shipwreck was there in spirit.
It was a lovely party. We all had a really nice time.
It was a ping
All
pong
four
party.
of us. Yes.
And try not to think about it too much because 50 is like a big number. So
It is a big number, but it was a nice time. So
sure. But the whole time leading up to it, I was just anxious anyway, because
Yeah.
for many different reasons. But yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
Feel the same.
You know what? Your wife did something at a party that I always appreciate, and she should be commended for. And that is, instead of getting the party sub, the one like 6-foot hero,
Right,
which I'm anti the big hero.
right.
She went with the smaller individual sandwiches.
Too many sandwiches she went with.
Maybe that's your problem to deal with.
Right.
But they were very good sandwiches.
Good.
And they weren't the party sub wedge of like bread with one piece of meat in there. I'm not a fan of those.
I gotta say, first of all, Mrs. Chibi would probably never even consider a novelty sub in that way. Like that's not even on her radar. But
That's
I
fine.
went to a community party, like a block party, literally a block party. Someone had one of those sandwiches, and it was delicious. So
They're the worst. They're the worst thing.
I just dropped my garbage can, but
See?
I went back for more slices
I'm
of
sure
sandwich.
there's probably a gamut of party subs and quality of those.
I'm gonna say okay. Yes, I will not say it's a blanket rule that every party sub is bad because
Right.
that's who could hold that claim. But I will say that the vast majority of party subs are lame.
There's some
Fair.
gray. in
I'm
the
gonna
party
get you a
subs.
good party sub before you die. That's my new goal.
I'm gonna come home one day and there's gonna be a 6-foot sandwich.
No, I'm just gonna be at a place and I'm
I
gonna
can't
see a
stay mad
party
at
sub
you.
and I'm gonna call you. Like, you got to be here in like the next 10 minutes.
Okay, that's fair.
Get this sub.
Mhm.
So yeah, I probably sweat more than anybody else at a birthday party ever because I played table tennis against people who are really good and they made me sweat. Instead of being nice, they took my sweat and it was a lot. I had a towel. Most people don't bring a towel to their birthday party.
But that's like the official. That's what a cheap ED birthday party should be.
Right. And it was supposed to be a surprise party, but that wasn't really pulled off.
I kept it a surprise.
You did. Nobody
I could have
told
blown
me.
it. I could have blown it many times.
Nobody told me, but Mrs. Chibi asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I said, I want a ping pong party with Adam Bobrow. So I assumed that she was going to make it happen, unless like I heard otherwise. And then, I mean, whatever. How's she going to hide it from me? We live in the same house. I'm like the only person with the keys to the table tennis club now. It's like literally, it would literally be impossible for her to keep it a surprise. But it was cool to hang out with Adam, and he made me sweat also. And he ate a lot of sandwiches, which was good because we needed people to move those sandwiches. And that guy can move sandwiches.
I only had one. I'm sorry.
I only had one because I was too anxious about the whole thing, and I couldn't even finish the one.
It was good. I had the grilled chicken avocado one.
Uncle Giuseppe's, if you're on Long Island and you're looking for small sandwiches for your party.
It was tasty. And the highlight for me of the party was Osaka grandma giving a ping pong lesson to Elliot.
Nice.
And they played together for like a half hour.
Wow.
Yeah, like a good
Did he learn anything?
chunk of time. I don't know, but they have
She's
a
pretty
good
good.
time. So good.
She's pretty good for like almost 80 or
Mhm.
at all, or any age really.
Yes,
She'll beat Chip.
she would
Okay.
probably beat me. I'm sure she would.
I play ping pong like maybe once a year.
Whose fault is that?
That
Sounds like an excuse.
It's just the fact.
I know.
that is what I do.
She blew her ankle out like practicing ping pong.
I could definitely beat her with a blown out ankle.
She could. She had to go to she was living in the hospital for like.
Was it our which side was it? I need to know which side to attack.
She couldn't walk. She couldn't walk at all.
Perfect.
Now she's recovered now. She has no
good.
weaknesses now. She's better now than before. They
Okay.
rebuilt it. She's bionic now. She makes this noise whenever she swings. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Nice.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Anyway, it was a nice time. Thank you for coming, Wombat. I'm glad your family had a good time and you had a good time and you ate the sandwiches.
We appreciate the invitation.
I will thank Mrs. Chibi for you. I was
Mhm.
not. The one thing that I didn't know was the guest list. Although I knew I figured Adam Bobrow was going because
You
That was
should let people know who that is.
he's like the most famous table tennis influencer. I mean, or like video YouTuber. Maybe Pongfinity is more famous, but I don't like Pongfinity because they're too silly. Like they're like gimmicky, you know, like with like moving the tables around, novelty paddles. Adam is more about like getting people to play table tennis. So, but he's got like 1 million subscribers on YouTube and his videos do really well. And his stuff gets more viewed than the actual, like the best players in the world, you know, so he's getting more eyes on table tennis than all the best players in the world put together. So
Chip, have you ever seen like real professional table tennis players play in person before?
I have maybe like semi-pro, I guess is the best, not like a top 10 in the world or top 20 in the world. No.
I mean people that like take it very seriously. Ship, have you seen this before? Ship?
Are you talking to Ship?
I'm talking to Ship.
Oh,
I mean, I know I've seen the one guy that goes to Cheapy's club.
one
Because
guy?
I had never real seen like real like
The guy that like competes in the Paralympics or
Oh,
whatever.
Tall. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Wombat. Go ahead.
So I had never really seen like real competitors play table tennis before. I've seen people play for fun, but not people that like really get into it. And there's this whole like machismo intimidation thing that some of the players do when they serve that my family thought was one of the funniest things they've ever seen.
What was
in
the
their
thing?
entire
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Your old coach does it, and Adam does it too.
What's the machismo? Why is it
stomp? The stomp?
Oh, it's not a machismo thing. It's
I asked, and that's what I was told.
by who? Adam said?
Yeah, that's what Adam said. He goes, "It's an intimidation technique. It's like like a masculine kind of thing." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Well, I think the idea is like a lot when you're doing a serve. I mean, it's supposed to trick. The whole point is to win the point, right? Like, so obviously that's why
Right.
they do it. But you're allowed to do it, and it can sort of distract the player, right? Like you look like you're going down and you stomp the floor, and yet you're putting side spin on it. It could be confusing.
Right. It can. My take on it, not knowing anything, would be that's probably covering up any kind of sound cues for how you serve differently.
But also it's scary. Like there was a guy at the club today and he was doing it and he did it louder than really anyone that I've ever heard, like to the point where it was distracting to other people.
It's
other
some real
tables.
gorilla shit.
He was really good, this guy. So
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, look how tough I am at table tennis.
No.
I'm a table tennis toughie.
No, they're just trying to win the point. They're just trying to show, look how good I am. I'm going to try to win the point now.
I totally understand it. It's peacocking.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's not peacocking. There's no peacocking. You win, you either win or you don't. You have a rating. Like, that's it. You can't, no stomping is going to make you better than anybody. Like, no one.
No.
Right.
It just might make you look like a douche.
No, come on. I swear, I never considered it
Well, you don't stomp. I noticed that you're not a big stomper.
Sometimes.
You do a little bit of flourish. You do your flourish.
After motion. Yeah, you want to do that to throw people off.
Yeah, and which I found to be a little bit more like you're more confident in yourself than someone with a smaller penis that has to stomp on the floor.
Stop it. That's not true. What are you saying about Adam's penis, by the way?
I call it like I see it.
Everyone's got their own thing. And you shouldn't look at me when I play. No one should look at me.
You play very well.
Don't look at me at all.
I noticed how good you are at table tennis.
Oh,
yes, I'm being 100% serious.
Thank you.
That most of the time, if the other player got the point, it wasn't because the other player got the best of you. It was because you would try to do something that would cause the other player to get a point.
Because I suck a little too much. Yeah, it's true.
No, it's the opposite.
Right. It's right. I make mistakes.
You make more mistakes than other players get the best of you.
Right.
And I found that to be very impressive.
Thank you.
No problem. And I was paying attention.
Thank you. But you shouldn't look at me. Nobody should ever look at me.
Just say it.
Including right now. Thanks to Orange Theory helped a lot with that, by the way. Being able to you have to use your legs a lot and be low, and certainly that has helped.
I'll let them know tomorrow. That's
me too. I'm going to go tomorrow too, I think.
Oh, nice. We can compare notes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I was at the club today and it smelled so fucking bad. There's been a smell. There's a smell. There's been a smell at the club that's been on and off. And today or yesterday, it was fucking so full force. And I called the landlord. I'm like, something died in the wall. This is the smell of animals living in the wall, animals dying in the wall. I don't know, but animals are in the wall. Someone's got to check it out. And I was like, can you come today? And he's like, I'll try. I'm really busy. Obviously didn't come. Today I went and I called him again. I'm like, it's so bad today. We may have to close down. It's just so bad. I went to the head shop across the street. I bought a whole thing of incense. I'm running around the club with multiple incenses in my hand, just by myself, making holders out of cups. So the guy's I tell the guy what I think is happening, and he's tells me to go around and check in the back by the other tenants are. And sure enough, I go back there and there's a fucking hole in the wall. 99% of the wall is fucking brick, right? But one part of it is sheetrock where the window is. And they keep their garbage, the other tenants keep their garbage on that side of the wall. And there's just a hole where the fucking wall is. And yeah, well, that makes sense. And meanwhile, these fucking assholes next door, they're looking at that hole in the wall every fucking day. That's where they hang out and smoke cigarettes, whatever. They walk by that area all the time. We never see that area. They're looking at that every day and they don't say anything to the landlord or to us. Whatever, hole in the wall by our fucking piles of garbage that we keep there. Made me angry. How could you just not say anything?
You know what you do is you put a hose in that hole, turn the water on until something flushes back out.
I told oh God. Anyway, and that's only the fourth grossest thing that I've seen on the club over the summer.
Awesome.
I know, I can't even talk about it anymore. Let's do some show feedback.
Let's move forward then.
Yeah. I'm starting to get a little nauseous actually.
That's okay. Eternal Duo.
Sure.
Yeah. I also watched the Flash movie last week, and having done so, I haven't really understood the hate for this movie. It was less bad than Batman versus Superman, in my opinion. Wasn't a great movie, but it was decent. I also didn't get the hate about the CGI either.
Yes, I put that on here because I totally agree. And I was listening to Howard Stern this week, and he was talking about the Flash. Maybe it was last week, talking about the Flash movie and how he hated it. And he brought out the same thing that I did. How like the Flash, they have one annoying character, and so what do? Decide to make make two of them, like one from different dimensions. Or I already fucking forgot the plot, but Howard only lasted like 20 minutes.
Oh, well, that explains that.
But I thought it was, as far as DC movies go, I thought it was definitely one of the better ones and more fun ones, at least.
Are you excited for Aquaman 2? I know Ship is.
I could not believe that when I saw a trailer for that during football this weekend. I'm like, wait, they're making another of these?
Really
they're
big in
another
China.
One of these.
Aquaman's really popular in China. No, I don't know. That's true.
I mean, I guess people are going to go see it. I guess.
I don't know. No one's seen the last 3 DC movies. Three?
I think it takes a little more to get people to the theater now. And I don't know that Aquaman 2 is that.
I think that DC lost a lot of goodwill in the last year with numerous things. And I mean, we'll see how the rebooting goes, but I just don't.
I say Flash was almost good.
Flash was almost good.
So close.
With the more charismatic lead, that movie probably would have been a better movie.
You can't make the guys like that annoying. Like some annoying is good, but too annoying where it's hard to root for the guy. That's a little rough, but I still liked it.
They went a little too made him too much like Leonard from The Big Bang Theory. No, Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. He was a little too Sheldon-y and not like normal human being.
Right, like you couldn't even really survive if you acted like that in a real world. Like someone's gonna punch you in the face like every other day.
Well, unless you're the Flash.
Right. That's why. Is that why he's so annoying? Because he knows that he can just be that annoying and avoid all the punches.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Okay, it's more realistic than I thought.
There you go.
Should we do Watch This, Jerks?
I think so.
Watching stuff.
I watched a movie. I watched Air.
Air. Is that the Jordan movie?
It's not really. I mean,
it's the Jordan Shoe movie.
It's the Jordan Shoe movie. There's not much Michael Jordan in this movie. It's more around. It's a drama.
It's about the white people that got rich from Michael Jordan.
Yes,
correct. It is. It's
the feel good movie of the year.
It's well,
finally something for the white guy. I mean,
they did. I mean,
there's
a big section of the movie around like how that changed athlete royalties and contracts around sponsorships. So like that was like I don't know if it was the first, but it's portrayed as the first in this of like, okay, he's going to get like royalties on every shoe that's sold. Or
is that because they knew it was going to be
Jordan
just so big?
No, like Nike was not big then. Like they had the running shoes.
Got it.
But like their basketball division was, I mean, if you believe the movie, it was portrayed to be almost shutting down, right? Like they were behind Adidas, behind Converse. They had basically no stars like signed on.
And Jordan wasn't Jordan when they signed him.
Well, he didn't want to be there either.
Yeah.
He wanted to sign with Adidas because that was the cool.
That was the cool one.
That was the cool one. But then they it's a good movie. Like they threw all their budget at just him and designed the Air Jordan. Like, hey, we completely designed a shoe just for you, and we're gonna pay the fines for you to wear this shoe, because the NBA at that time you could only wear white shoes with like it had to be like a small percentage of color on them, and they had to match your team. And so they made this that was this red and black shoe, obviously. And so they were paying, I think it was like $5,000 a game for the fees for him to wear this shoe. I'm sure it's embellished in this version of it. It's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck as Phil Knight's pretty funny.
All my favorite rich white guys.
And then Bateman's also in it as well.
Yeah, Jason Bateman. Yes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes. So it's, I don't know. I enjoyed watching it. It was entertaining.
Nice.
Yep. I saw the second half of that movie because I happened to like, I had a thing at my parents' house and I walk in and they're watching the movie. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this yet. And my father goes, oh, you can watch the second half.
There you go.
Yeah. because he's not going to turn it off just because I haven't seen the beginning yet.
Ass.
Yeah.
I know. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I finished the after party. We finished the after party, I should say, as if, my wife.
We're on episode 3, I think, here.
Okay. It's good. I like the season. I don't know if it succeeds in the way that the first season does, only because the first season, it's so, it's something new and fresh. This one, it does a good job. I just don't think it does as good a job.
It's an all new cast.
It is an all new cast.
Not all new.
We know, but with like
the leads are the same, and then
Sam
everybody
Richardson
around
is
them.
still there.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode, by the way.
Oh,
This-
good.
like
Of the
this
first
week.
season?
Yeah. First season.
good.
First season.
The first season's really good. The second season is good. I will say without giving anything away, the ending falls a little flat because it's very similar to another ending
Okay, that's
seen
enough.
recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last
Not
Star
that
Wars movie.
recently that you'll know. No.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's vague enough where it doesn't say anything.
That's
when you
3.
Yeah, exactly. But when you see it, you'll go, oh, that's what he was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. Am I? Oh no, wait. I don't think I'm the only one. I'm not the only one who watched some One Piece live action, right?
No, I'm on episode 4 or maybe 5. We're on the episode. Did you finish it? I'm guessing.
No, I still have 2 episodes left. It's just been such a crazy.
All right.
Yeah,
we just watched the episode that was at the restaurant.
Okay, yeah, that's a good episode.
Yeah.
It's okay. For those who don't know, there's a live action One Piece TV series on Netflix that's really good. I am not a big anime person, generally speaking, not a huge fan of anime. But I saw that the show was getting some pretty good reviews from people that I usually trust. So I'm like, you know what? I have nothing else to watch. I'll check it out.
And it's not anime anymore once there are actors in it. Live actors.
Yeah, well, now it's live action.
What do
yeah.
they call that?
See, regular style.
Do they have a name for
It's
that?
a regular
in Japan?
show.
Show.
And I watched the first
Regular style?
episode, and I'm like, this show is charming and entertaining. I'm gonna keep watching it. And then my wife sat down, and within 5 minutes, she was hooked. That's why we haven't finished it yet, because we're watching it
Got
together.
it. Yeah, we're watching it as a whole family.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. Sabrina watched it on her own because, heaven forbid she watches an entire show with us, but she finished it, and it's really good. And everyone in it is really good. All the actors are charismatic, and you're rooting for them. And
the visuals are it's shot like really nice. Like like I can't believe they had the budget to do this.
I think One Piece is pretty big.
Yeah, but just still, like for a Netflix original series, like where it's like, oh, we're gonna take an anime and turn it into a live action thing. They could have cut some corners that they didn't cut.
Right.
Like they didn't need to have the snail phones in this. But
No,
have
they
the
did
snail
not.
phones.
And the snail phones are gross.
And expensive, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it costs some money on them. And then, I mean, just the overall, I don't know, the cinematography on it's good. The actor that plays Monkey D. Luffy is really good. I think he pulls off that character.
And the guy who plays Zoro is really good. And the girl with the red hair, who's orange hair, whose name I always forget, she's really good.
Nami,
she's really good too. They're all really good. The three main leads. And Jeff Ward, who was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., plays the clown pirate, and he's good. So
yeah, the structure, I mean, it's based off of anime, of course, so that makes sense. But the way that the season is structured, and you're going against different pirates, and the episodes are self-contained, and it's getting like, it's got the tried and true formula of, hey, we're getting the crew together, right? So he's picking up new people for his pirate crew along the way, and it I don't know, it's a good show. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
GP,
it
you
does.
should probably check it out.
You should probably check it out. It doesn't fall into that mistake that the Netflix Marvel shows fell into, where they try to tell one story over 10 episodes. They tell, like, so far it's been probably like 3 mini stories over the 8 episodes I've watched.
If Mrs. Cheapy says okay, I'll watch it. I tried already, and she was like, "Oh,
You have to just put it on.
it never worked." Oh, maybe I could try that. We're running out of things to watch.
Because it's just Netflix. You turn it off.
Yeah, I could do that.
But it's worth checking out.
Yeah, we finished what we do in the shadows this season. Do you watch that? You don't watch that? Funny.
I haven't watched it in a while.
It's some nice light entertainment. Fun. And we watched this mini series on Apple TV, a documentary called "Wanted: The Escape of Carlos Ghosn," who, if you remember, he was the head of Nissan and Renault. He, like, when Nissan in the late 90s was like about to go bankrupt, he was running the French car company Renault. And he basically got them to bail out Nissan, like lent them a whole lot of money, keep them from going bankrupt. And then he later became the head of Nissan and like brought the company back from the grave. And then he gets arrested. And then if you remember, the big news story, he gets broken out of, he's like under house arrest eventually, and he escapes from the country to avoid his trial. So this is the documentary about that. I think it was 4 episodes, maybe like 50 minutes each. It's very interesting because he says he's innocent, and you learn a lot about the Japanese judicial system, and you don't know whether to sort of believe this guy or to believe the charges against him. So it's done really well, very entertaining and interesting. It's called "Wanted: The Escape of Carlos." I think it's pronounced Ghosn. It's Ghosn. Anyway, it was good. Should we do new releases?
We could do some new releases. I'm playing one of them. Is anyone else playing any new releases, or just me?
Just you start.
I was sent a code for the game Myth Force. Provided, I don't think it's the word. A code for Myth Force, which is on pretty much everything. It's on the PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, PC. I got it on the Xbox. It has a really cool graphical style where it has this sort of animation.
Oh wow, it looks super cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like a Saturday morning cartoon, very Dungeons and Dragons cartoon look.
That's cool.
It is cool. It's a first-person roguelike, I guess, RPG shooter. I'm not very good at it, but I also haven't played that much. I do like playing as the bow and arrow guy, but I should probably try some of the other characters. But I keep going back to bow and arrow guy because I keep leveling them up. So I want to, work with what I got. It's that standard roguelike thing where, you keep your levels. So when you start over again, you're stronger. It has some cool moves. I do like the look of, like, I was playing the game and I was fighting a lot of skeletons, the animated skeletons, which come at you, which is pretty cool. But when that first goblin comes at you in that cool animation style, you're like, okay, that's kind of cool. It has kind
really
of this,
cool.
It's got like this rotoscopy look to it. I want to give it more time, but so far I like it and I will stick with it. It's just, it's not the easiest game. It does have 2-player online. I'm not sure if it has 2-player couch co-op ship.
Okay.
I would say, if anything,
cool.
Yeah,
check it out.
It looks cool. I kind of wish it had like a 3rd-person mode too, but that's a me thing, not a game thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Myth Force. It's a really cool looking game. Like, it's got some style to it, some panache.
Chip, you got the new basketball game or what?
I do not have the new basketball game, but
Who are the big corporate sponsors this year that we can look forward to checking out in game?
I'm sure State Farm is still
good,
hanging around there. I'm sure Jake is still there. It looks insane. Like I know I sent some like I don't know. I saw screenshots of what the city looked like now, and it had like I don't know, like a big octopus or something in it.
Oh, the city that your created character roams around.
Where you
in?
like do the skateboarding and everything.
You do the skateboarding in the basketball game, mm-hmm. After you get, after you buy some shoes and change your outfit. Can you get a job also? Can you get like a third job? A second job, rather?
I mean, you do quests that are like jobs. Like you go and do like photo shoots and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow. That's all part of being a big, high-powered athlete.
It is. And you like have your agent that you talk to and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They do that in Madden also.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have make your character and you have to talk to your agent on the phone. Oh, you got some exciting teams lined up that want to talk to you. Who do you think we should sign with?
Yeah, but Madden doesn't have like a whole city that you can walk around.
No,
like,
Madden doesn't do it nearly as well. Which, by the way, I've been playing a lot more Madden.
What are they doing in Madden? EA, and like the soccer doesn't have a city either.
No. Mm-mm.
Huh.
I don't know. It's basketball has more of a lifestyle around it, I think.
Yeah. Well, because it's basketball.
Yeah, I think it lends itself to that some. Like,
what about that football lifestyle? Hanging out in the parking lot, drinking beers, knocking over cows, vandalism, anti-Semitism. Oh, maybe not the last one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't. I'll have to look to see what all they added in 2K24 besides what looks to be an octopus.
There's a new Super Bomberman.
Yeah, I was checking that out before. It's supposed to be okay.
It's expensive.
That's what I thought when I looked at it. It's $50.
Yeah. I put in a code request for it on like the site where you could just click the button. I was gonna give it to you if they sent me one because I know you're a big fan.
I have roots.
But they didn't send me one, so I apologize.
I didn't even know it was coming out until I saw it on this list.
Yeah,
I feel like they could make a really good online Bomberman game now. I mean, what's going on?
I don't know. What do I look like?
And also like a battle royale one. Why not?
Bomberman V. Didn't they try that already?
I think so.
Yeah. Wasn't there a free to play Bomberman at one point?
It was a third party Bomberman. It wasn't made by the license holder. It was called like Bomb Man. I don't know.
It
was off brand. Has anyone checked out the Crew Motorfest? Because that's getting very good reviews as well. People are saying, look out, Forza Horizon.
All right, look out. Forza Horizon.
It's better than Forza Horizon in some ways.
Look out.
That's what
really?
That wasn't a direct quote.
Not a direct quote. Okay. Has anybody ever said that this was better than Forza Horizon?
Yes.
Okay.
Who said it?
Give
me a name.
Okay.
I need a name now. You have 3 seconds. 3, 2.
Shit. I saw it somewhere.
1.
I saw it. I swear to God. It said.
Was it Robocane?
It was like in some ways better than Forza Horizon.
Okay.
Oh, here. While it lacks originality, it is better than Forza Horizon 5 in several ways. That's from Games Radar. That's no slouch. That's not some shit you never heard of, which is usually what is highlighted on Metacritic. Like IGN Croatia. Oh, IGN Croatia says it's better than Gran Turismo. Also,
it's the fat Game Boys say it's better.
Right. It's like, wait a minute, you just made that site just for this game.
No, well, there's fatgameboys.com, FATBOY.
Right.
Game Boys.
Yeah.
But there's also the other fat Game
More
Boys,
urban one,
which is PHATBOIS.
Yeah.
And they both had very different reviews of the Crew Motorfest.
Right.
So you have to specify.
There's two critic reviews so far on Metacritic. Games Radar gave it an 80 and TRG gave it a 60.
TRG stands for it's like Fat Boys, but
the Fat Gamers.
It's in French. It's in French.
Fat Gamer Boys.
Yeah, I don't speak French, but I'm just assuming that's
it's the Fat Gamer Boys.
Yeah, in French.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, no, seriously, I watched some videos of it though. It does look very, 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 very good. And I would be lying if I didn't say that Forza Horizon is getting stale. It is.
Well, it's been out for like 3 years.
No, I mean the series. The series. Forza Horizon 5 was not like significantly different than 4.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was a little.
I lost interest quickly.
I did too.
Ship, did you put
I
that
did
many
not.
hours?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
I put a crap ton of hours into that, and I got into like it did the like the weekly challenges thing better than 4 did. So it had better games as a service functionality than 4. Yeah, I played a lot of that.
Yeah.
Fair.
But not recently.
Not recent. It's been a few months since I've popped back into it. But I nearly got every car in the game at one point.
It's too many. Well, why don't you check out Crew Motorfest when it's on sale in 2 weeks?
Sure, why not? I know for Switch, Fae Farm came out, and that has been getting good scores as well. That's another one of these farming, like Harvest Moon style games. I saw a video for that in Target. It was up on their TVs. It looked pretty solid. I know I will be getting that for Mrs. Shipwreck and Emmeline because it offers co-op play as well. So I think I saw that it had a very high Metacritic score.
What's the game?
Fae Farm, FAE Farm. It's not going to be anything that you guys in particular would be
sounds very
interested
feminine.
In.
Feminine farming.
Sure.
It's like a farm for fairies, literally.
Maybe. I mean, it's got a 79 on Metacritic right now, so it's scoring well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks good.
All right. Keep an eye out for Fae Farm, everybody.
An 80 from Nintenderos.
From fat Nintendo fans. Is that it for new releases? What else? I think that's it, right?
I think that's
a lot. It's a lot. Hentai Project for the Switch. $279 for Hentai Project.
I'm good.
Oh, Whip Smart. You've been better check this one out for next week. You may have to lay out the cash yourself. All right. Should we do
also Seduce Me for the Switch?
The complete story.
Right.
It's not just the first one, it's the complete story.
That's Nintendo's the platform where you can get the complete story.
Wait, did you make up this one? Thunder War Rabbit Alien Fight?
I did not make up any of them. I mean, they all sound made up on Switch. You know, the many pieces of Mr. Koo.
That's real.
Well, I know they're all real.
Mr. Koo's a thing. Isn't Mr. Koo like that?
You're thinking of Mr. Do?
No.
I'm familiar with Mr. Do.
What is this called? The Mini Adventures of something?
Mr. Do is the game in the arcade no one has ever played.
Of Mr. Q. No, this is isn't Mr. Q? Isn't that the guy I'm thinking of? Yeah. He's that that yellow guy.
Hey, it's racist.
Yellow guy. That sounds a little racist.
Yeah. He's a thing.
All right. Well, yeah, these are all things. None of them are made up.
Right.
All right. Can we do an ad so we can look forward to dumping on Starfield?
Yes, let's talk about let's say something about our good friends at HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Kickstart a fresh fall routine with HelloFresh. HelloFresh handles all the meal planning and shopping to deliver everything you need to cook up a tasty meal right at home. They do the hard part, and you get to take the credit. When it comes to options, honestly, more is more. That's why HelloFresh's menu includes 40 recipes and over 100 add-on items to choose from every week. Ever wish you could spend less time planning, shopping, and cooking for the family and more time with them? From easy time-saving breakfasts and family dinners to kid-approved lunches and snacks, HelloFresh has what it takes to keep everyone, including you, healthy and satisfied. You know, I will say that over the summer, we took a little bit of a HelloFresh break because there was just so much running around that we just didn't think it was going to work. And first of all, they make it very easy to skip a week or two when you want to. A lot of credit to HelloFresh for that. But I'll also say this much. When we started it back up again, when school started, you don't realize how much you miss something until you have it back. It is, I don't think it's like skipping again is never gonna, it's just not even gonna be a thing because we missed it. It's so good. We had the pork tenderloin for dinner tonight with the green beans. Oh, that's a
we
good
had the
one.
taco pies.
We're doing in my house now, we're doing only calorie smart meals. Because I need to eat calorie smart meals.
Were the
But
taco pies not on that?
I do not believe taco pies are on that, but ravioli is. So
Okay.
I get to eat ravioli for dinner tomorrow night, which I'm looking forward to. And I had barramundi with yellow rice last night, and that was delicious as well. They send really good fish. But yeah, I mean, it's so good. That's all I could say is that it's so good. And everything that I already said is 100% true. It's so much easier than you think it is. Because it's all just there. So anyway, go to HelloFresh.com/50CAGcast and use code 50CAGcast for 50% off plus 15% off the next 2 months. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/50CAGcast and use code 50CAGcast for 50% off plus 15% off the next 2 months.
All right. Should we do some Wombats Fortnightly news?
There was big Fortnite news. That's not, it's sort of game related, but not quite game related. Donald Mustard, the creator of Fortnite, retired.
Oh.
He left the industry. He said, you know what? I had enough. I want to spend more time with my wife and family before my kids get out of the house. And there he is.
Now, when you say he's the creator of Fortnite, like, what does that mean?
Like, the basic game was his idea, as far as I know. Like, he was the guy who said we should make Fortnite. And they made Fortnite, and he was the creative director for the game up until, who knows how, I'm assuming up until about a week ago, he was the creative director of the game. So he came up with the game, the basic gameplay, all of those characters. The storyline was all him.
The motion capture for the dance moves, it's all him.
But he had a big part in it. A big part in all of what made Fortnite.
Now, do you think
not a dummy?
No. Do you think he got paid, or do you think he just got
no? He's posted from his house, like sitting on his porch, and you could tell that he's living in someplace real nice.
No, but isn't Epic in North Carolina or something? Like you could buy
lives, I think, in Colorado.
For,
he doesn't live in.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just want to know, if you work for a company like Epic, or if you work for Epic, and you come up with literally $1 billion game.
I believe he may actually be a billionaire from the game.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
I could do a net worth. Let's see what.
No, don't bother. Those are all bullshit.
I know. Yeah. So, they say his net worth is $10 million on here. So who knows? Maybe he's not worth that much.
That's all bullshit anyway. All right. What's this next item we got here?
Well, I was going to say, and they replaced him with this guy named Charlie Wen, which is a very interesting hire because what he did in the past prior to taking over Fortnite was he came up with the design for Kratos for God of War. Not the game, but the actual character design.
Okay.
For Kratos, he's the guy who came up with that. And he also did most of the phase 1 character designs for the MCU. So he designed Loki and Thor and the Captain America costume, and a lot of, those iconic looks were designed by this guy, and that's who they got to replace Donald Mustard. I'm very interested to see what he could do.
You got an artist to replace him?
Basically, yeah. He's the chief creative officer. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is it time to talk about Starfield?
We could talk about Garfield now.
Yes.
So what level are you now?
Space travel.
I'm only an hour in, so I'm going to listen for most of this.
Okay. I am about 8 hours in, I would say. So I'm level 9.
Okay. I am also level 9. I want to say maybe like 7 to 8 hours in.
I also want to say I did a pretty good job of really learning much about the game before playing it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some couple videos. I watched that one playthrough video that they put out, like that was a big deal a couple months ago. That was pretty much it. Like I didn't really read anything about it or I don't know. It really, to me, I was disappointed in how much it felt like Skyrim in space. Like in that all the space stuff.
No, see, I think it feels like Fallout in space.
Oh, well, let it Fallout in space. Yes, because it has guns. But
yeah.
To be honest, I'm using a sword because I find that the sword weapons are much more effective. So it is like Skyrim. But what I mean by that is that all the space travel, anything that is space and new for this game, besides like the design and art, feels like wedged in. I mean, to me, everything is, my opinion.
I think where the game kind of falters and where it diverts from a Bethesda game, even from like a Fallout and a Skyrim, is Skyrim has scope in a way that this game pretends to have scope. Whereas in Skyrim, when you go outside and for that first time and you're in the big open world and you open your map and you see how big that map is and the amount of time it would take to walk across the map of Skyrim,
right,
it'd take a long time. I mean, no one would do that, but that's there, and that's 10 years ago or however long ago longer. This game is sort of takes that out, and it's really a lot of fast travel and it's almost as if it was Skyrim, but instead of there being a map, you're just fast traveling to the dungeon. And you open the door, and the inside of a dungeon looks like, I think I've been to like 3 caves so far. So it's like, okay, so now I'm on the inside of this cave, and I just fast travel to another cave. Oh yeah, that's right. I'll fast travel back to the headquarters now. So it kind of took, even though it's supposed to be like different solar systems and planets.
And huge scope. Like bigger than scope. Skyrim. Skyrim's one planet, right? Like one area.
It feels like pretend scope.
Yes.
Like manufactured scope that isn't really there. And I feel I know you said this game feels too much like Skyrim. I think it probably would have been a better game if they stuck to one map.
I just meant mechanically. Like I didn't mean like vibes or feeling or anything. I just strictly meant like the bones of the game.
I like the idea of the space theme, but planets are big. You don't have to have multiple planets. They probably could have gotten away with your ship crash landed on this planet, and now you're stuck here. Figure it out, and that could have been the whole thing if they were able to have that kind of scope of, if they were able to say we have a whole planet for you to explore. That would actually be a bigger game than the hundreds of planets apparently that are in this game.
So, but I haven't played much of it, but from what I've gathered so far and my feelings on it seems like it's similar to like Mass Effect in that like there's planets, but then you land and you're like, oh, this is the area of the planet that I can actually do something on, right?
Yes.
Like this is the mission part of the planet.
It's very much like Mass Effect in that. Mm-hmm. Yes, you go to the planet, you could go to these 3 buildings on the planet. Then once you're done with those 3 buildings on that planet, you've seen the whole planet and you could go to you're on to the next thing, which works for Mass Effect because Mass Effect has a very deliberate storyline and pacing and game structure.
Yeah, it's
Mass
Effect. Essentially it's linear, but with some side quest or some choices on the order of events, but it's very much still a linear beginning to end.
Exactly, and it works better. The game plays better. As someone who played all 3 Mass Effect games, what was it, last year? I could say that physically, like the game just handles better than Starfield so far handles. I think Bethesda games get away with a lot when you're in that big open world.
Sure,
and when you
that's the appeal.
Yeah,
right?
And when you take that away, it highlights flaws that didn't need to be highlighted.
I
That's what
feel
I got.
like, do you feel like there's like no soul to this game in a way?
Kinda.
Like it feels like such a video game. It doesn't feel, I'm not sucked into a world of a futuristic space world. I'm like Wombat said, like I'm just I'm pressing
It
X to
should
do
have
everything.
been-
Every X to everywhere. X, I'm on the planet and I need to go to another planet. No need to go back to my ship. Press X to Venus. I'm there. Like I don't have to go back. It's just always like the ship is, it's just fast track. Their ship doesn't need to be there, right? It's just a mechanic they put into the game so give the player like so you could have a building system, like so they could repurpose the outpost system from the Fallout games, right? It's repurposed into more outposts in this and also shipbuilding. But at the end of the day, the ship is really
1 second,
just.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, of course. The ship is really
Are
just.
you okay?
All right. Well, I'm just going to check that out. Somebody had a bad time playing Starfield, I think. It just, the game feels old to me. Like, it doesn't deliver on the promise of.
No, I heard him screaming.
Exploration. Oh my God, this is better than the show. Hold on, we got to listen to what's going on here. Everything's okay, I think. I think this was just a video. Elliot is playing probably video games.
Hi, I'm back. Sorry.
Was this a video game excitement?
No, something. He opened the freezer and something fell out of the freezer and landed on Elliot's foot. And apparently hurt a lot.
Yikes. Okay.
Well, that piece of frozen chicken breast fell onto his foot.
Dude, you got to be careful with that stuff. That heavy stuff in the freezer.
Yeah. So everything's fine.
Yeah. I was saying that the ship, which is supposed to be like, space travel, obviously a huge part of a fucking space game, right? Or this game, at least it seemed like it was supposed to be. But to me, it really is, it's the only point is to participate in the dog fighting that is really just interrupting your fast travel.
Yeah.
Right?
It's none of it's necessary.
None of it seems like it's
their building mechanic. It doesn't. Yeah, none of it is anything I want to do. That's the problem. None of it is anything I want to do.
I feel like have you played No Man's Sky recently? Have you checked it out?
I mean, I've played No Man's Sky.
I feel like I know it seems like a small and stupid thing, but like in that game, you can just. You can fly to the planets and choose where you land. And when you're doing that, it immerses you in the world more. Like you're flying in, you see the ground approach slowly. Like you can't see anything at first. It slowly comes into vision. It's much more exciting than just hitting X to fast travel and watching cutscenes, like the cutscenes to land, cutscenes to take off, cutscenes to dock with other ships. I don't know. It just all seems like the combat is flat and video game like.
I read somewhere. Do you know how many different types of ammo are in this game?
I don't.
I believe it's over 20.
I mean, that's the one thing I'm sure to pick up whenever I see it.
Yeah, you just pick because it doesn't. It's one of the few things you could just pick up. All of it, I guess. Although I never seem to have enough.
Right,
but
that's what I was going to say.
Why is it? I mean, there should be like 5 types of ammo at most. Shotgun.
I'd like you to try
rifle, pistol.
I'd like you to try this strategy in combat next time because it is, like you say, it is annoying to track all the ammo and you run out. Get an axe. You probably have the axe, right?
I have a an axe that has like an ability attached.
Okay.
Like a super axe.
Just boost right in these guys' face, jump in the air, boost up, land on them, axe them up. It's like 3 shots with an axe. They're dead. Move on to the next guy. Buy like 12 health packs. That's it. That's all I do. I just got a fucking samurai, like a ninja sword. I forgot what it was called. It was some like. Now you'll go down in 2 shots. I was in like a space station. This was actually like it was almost a cool moment. I see like a ship. I found some abandoned like weapons facility or something. And then I see like a ship just sitting there on the ground outside of the facility. I'm like, wait, that's not my ship. Can I like go in the ship and see what's going on? Go in the ship. It's like one of the bad guys, the epileptics.
Pirates.
I don't know, not the epileptics. Yeah. Whatever.
Uh-huh.
I go on the ship. I open the door. it loads, of course. You don't just open the door and go in. Everything's fucking like waiting for loading. It's just like a cluster of like 5 guys just standing there, like slow to do. Oh, there's a guy just there. I use my power where it makes everybody fly in the air, just like float in the air. I have my sword. I go, they're wearing so much armor and everything, makes no difference. I'm like, whoop, whoop, whoop. They're all dead. 5 guys, all dead, blood everywhere. And now it's my ship. I steal the ship. Now my crew is on the ship. But the funny thing is all these dead bodies are still on the ship. I don't know how to get rid of the dead bodies. And there's blood everywhere from me killing them. So like
you have the little girl on your ship too?
I have, yes, the little girl is on the ship and there's just like dead bodies. The crew members, this is kind of funny. I don't know if it's intentional or I'm just like seeing something that's not really there. But the crew members are sitting at their station and there's like a dead body on the floor next to them. And I see them look over every once in a while. And I don't know if they would just look over anyway, but it looks really funny because like they're just like bodies piled up and blood splattered everywhere. I don't know if you can clean that. I like the ship, like it's slightly better than the one that you start with, but it is weird. The dead bodies are weird.
That's funny.
Yes,
I guess I need to start checking out more ships at the spaceport.
But I don't know. Like you say, when you said there's nothing you really want to do in the game, that's kind of the problem. The combat, now I watched the video of the combat on PC, and at 60 frames per second and everything moving very smoothly, it almost looks like a different game. I saw a guy.
Maybe it is. Maybe that is the problem. I honestly don't know what the problem is.
I watched the video, and the title of the video was like the guys playing it like the game that you like from Arcane. What's it called? Dishonored? Not Dishonored.
Yeah, Dishonored.
Dishonored. Here's a guy playing Starfield like Dishonored, and he's using, you know how you get powers in Starfield? So he's using the powers to like go invisible and like pop up and slash them with the sword and then jump over there and it looks a lot better at 60 frames per second. It looks like a real combat focused game, which I don't know, man. It's another thing that makes the game look old or feel old. It doesn't really look old. It feels old. The fucking 30 frames per second first person shooter. 2023, we're still doing that. Like this is really like. It is a first-person shooter. Like, that's a big part of the game.
So you're playing in first person?
I mean...
you're in combat, not being in first person...
Yeah, you can play in third.
In combat, though? Like, how's that going to work?
I don't know.
That's going to be rough.
When I'm roaming around towns and I'm talking to people and I'm in the house with the other people, I'll be in third person. When I'm doing combat, I switch to first.
It's just a lot of this, I don't know. The immersion is broken a lot in this game. Like you can hit your own guys. They don't care. You shoot them with your superpowers. They go flying over and they just get right back up. Like, hey, how you doing? I don't know. I'm disappointed in the game. I got to say, like, I'm not mad at it. It didn't like offend me, but I am disappointed.
I guess I need to play more. I don't know. Like I played that hour and I'm like, all right. Like I played Fallout. I never got super into Fallout. Like I loved Skyrim, but I think it was just because I liked the world of Skyrim.
Well, I think that's part of it.
And then this is just like I don't even understand. Like the beginning of the game, it's like, oh, this guy's just giving me his ship. Like that was.
Well, you'll see why that happens later, but
sure. But it was like, I don't know, like the whole like. Early storyline just seemed
it's not as engaging as I'm a guy who broke out of prison that's caught in the middle of this civil war and now I have to go from town to town and I don't know, make friends with the mayor. I mean, for some reason that works much better than this game.
That I'm a space miner, like
yeah, I'm a space miner / space cowboy smuggler. Now I have a ship and a crew and I gotta kill these bandits. Like, why have I killed 70 people? Why?
Well, I didn't. The first thing I went to, I was like murdering guys left or right, like the whatever hideout because they were trying to shoot. I don't know. It's part of the main story. Like
they shot me. Yeah,
they were shooting us down, and we're like, oh no, we gotta land and take out this base, or they'll never start dogfighting us. And I'm like, please make them stop dogfighting us because I am not enjoying this dogfighting. So I land and I'm just like killing guys left or right. And then it gets to like the boss of it. And it's like, hey, see if you can like convince this guy that there's nothing on your ship. I'm like, all right. Like I talk him out of it, and it's like, all right, sorry about killing all your guys back there. I guess you believe me that there's nothing wrong, and I'm just gonna leave now. Just like X back to the ship, and out I went. And I'm like,
Right.
all right, I feel like I know what this game is.
You do know what it is if you played the previous Bethesda RPGs. That's what this is with the added,
But it isn't.
like,
That's
space
the
travel.
problem.
With
The
not even the
problem
space
is-
travel, space combat. Really is no space travel, right? It's fast travel.
there's no. It's all fast travel. There's no overworld, and that's what makes it not like every other Bethesda game you've ever played.
Right. So it is space combat, not space travel, and that breaks the immersion for me. And that, I guess, I just put the finger on it. That's what it is. It's the space combat with no space travel, where No Man's Sky did the space travel first, right? And then later they added space combat. I don't know.
I'm telling you, the game would have been better on just one planet.
Yes. If they reduced the scope of the game, I think, because
But
there
that's
really
just
is
it.
no big scope of the game.
It
Like you say, it's
wouldn't
an
be
illusion.
reducing the scope. They could have made
Yeah.
a map that was probably larger than this
A
map.
more focused scope. Let's put it
Are
Exactly.
there
that way.
aliens in this game? Are there aliens?
I don't
Or is it
know.
all people.
There must be. I fought a
Um,
monster. Like, is a monster alien count? Or do you mean like an alien you could
Well,
talk to?
Like aliens you can talk to. It just seems like
Yeah, there's a lot of humans you could talk to.
I've
like
talked-
when I was
yeah, I've
making my
talked to many.
character creator, it was just like, oh, it's a human. Oh, it's a human.
No cat people.
There's other human. Yeah, there's no cat people. There's no
There's
lizard
no
No
cat
lizards.
people. There's no
There's no, like-
lizard people. There's
like-
no like dark blue
If you're gonna
skin,
make it like
red-eyed
video gamey,
people.
because it's already video gamey because it's a Bethesda game, like
Mhm.
make it fun. Like,
Yeah.
give some like options here. Make some different
Like there's a charm to Fallout in all of the tongue in cheeky.
yeah. It's got a
all of
personality.
that.
I haven't figured out if this game has a personality at all.
No.
It doesn't. It doesn't have that person. It doesn't have the. That's what it's missing. It's missing the wacky, the sort of craziness of Skyrim, as far as like you said, with all these different character types and all of the, that whole world of vampires and werewolves and elves, and it doesn't have that, and it doesn't have this sort of tongue-in-cheek, super hyper personality of a Fallout. It doesn't have either of those things, and it doesn't have a new hook that's going to keep bringing you back. Sorry, Garfield, we're mean.
That's a good game.
Or not.
Mm-mm.
No offense.
No offense.
God,
Doc.
no offense. It's
it
not
might
a
be
good
good.
game.
Maybe they're gonna figure it out or something. I don't know.
I don't
Like-
know either. And I'm not saying I'll never play it again. I'm just saying I'm not running home to play it. My son actually asked me today, he goes, why aren't you playing Starfield? Because I was playing Madden instead. Because why aren't you playing?
It's
Why
a
aren't you
little
playing-
boring. It's a little boring. Mrs. Chibi does not like watching it. She thinks visually it's flat. Like the environments.
I agree. Like I was looking around the rooms and just like picking up stuff, right? Like it's typical Bethesda game where it's like highlighting all the stuff that you're picking up, and I'm like, this is just not like everything's just kind of
There.
seems like washed out or there. Like
Mhm.
it doesn't have the visuals of like a Skyrim where it's I don't know, it's got the medieval fantasy look to
There was-
it or the
There was that uniqueness of each little town. Like when you're in Whiterun, you're in Whiterun based on all the shields and the drapes and the castle and the, yes, there's definitely something different to be said about.
it just feels very sterile. Like everything is just
And maybe
don't
it's
know.
there later in the game.
it might
but,
be like maybe I need to play this for
but am I
70
going to
hours.
get to that point is a different, I shouldn't have to wait that long. Anyway, I think we've
Has
done
anything
it.
happened in like you guys have played like 8 hours or something?
I met the bisexual cowboy with a daughter,
Okay.
and
she lives in my blood-soaked spaceship.
Yes,
The daughter and the
keep-
cowboy.
I keep
Dad.
being told to check the inventory on my ship. Like I need to check that out. So then I go and I look at the inventory on my ship, but that quest just won't go away, and I find that to be incredibly frustrating.
Ugh. I've had a thing happen where it's like use your scanner to find the distortion. You have to do that. That's how you get your. Oh, let's talk about that. Have you gotten any powers yet?
Nope.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. You get powers in the game like Mass Effect.
Yeah, I haven't gotten one of those yet. I didn't even know you could do that, by the way, until you said it.
Right. It's exactly like
10
Mass
minutes
Effect
ago.
in that way, in that like, so you get powers and there's like a process for it. Like you find the temple has the power. When you go inside the temple, you first of all use your scanner to find the disturbance in the scanner. When it vibrates, then they go in that direction. That's how you find the temple. Go inside the temple. There's a big spinning orb, and then these lights these things flash in the sky, and you boost around, and you hit them you're floating in zero gravity. You boost around, you hit the light. As you hit one, then another one pops up. You do enough in a row, you get the superpower. That's the mini game you play. And holy fuck, does it get annoying. I was just doing it today, and I literally said, I was by myself, empty house. Holy fuck, this is annoying. And it makes you do it every time. It's just like killing time. This is not interesting. It's not as interesting as even going into like a dungeon somewhere and killing bad guys and finding a superpower in a box. That would be
in Skyrim,
100 times more interesting.
You would get to the end of the dungeon, there'd be a wall, and you walk up to the wall, and you would press X for magic, and that would be it.
It's dumb. It was not interesting. So I got 2 superpowers now, or 3. I have 3 now. And the other
3 more than I have.
The other hilarious thing is each of these superpowers is like some symbol, like some alien symbol. I don't even know what it is. Alien symbol? Sure, why not? And you put it on your little, speed menu thing. They're just alien symbols. It's not like you could look at a symbol and go, oh, that's my gravity wave, because that's the symbol for gravity. It's like a collection of random dots and lines. They're meaningless. There's no, I don't know. It's a lot of weird decisions in the game. It's not really cool to like make fun of stuff, but there's just a lot of material there.
I expect there to be many, many a patch.
There was one today.
I know.
But it didn't do much.
Nope.
They say mods are coming to the Xbox version.
I don't want mods. I'm not that I'm anti-mod. If that's your thing, then more power to you. But I want the game to be the game that they made, not
Space
the
travel
game
mod.
that someone in their basement said, "Oh, this is what the game should be."
Oh, you forgot to have space travel in your space game.
Yeah.
In your space travel game.
Anyway,
that's the biggest disappointment for me.
Did I talk about Sea? I talked about Sea Stars in the last game, right?
Yeah, last show.
Yeah, last show.
Yeah, okay.
You said you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, still playing it. That game's still good. That's all I'll say about
turn-based RPG or something. No, like Nintendo's what era?
It's like a Super Nintendo style.
It's like
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah,
it's got some cool mechanics and some fun characters. That game is so simple, but it's got so much personality. I mean, and I'm also
so the opposite of Starfield, no personality.
Opposite of Starfield, also the opposite of Baldur's Gate 3.
Complex.
Super complex. Baldur's Gate, which they sent codes to me and Ship, sort of Ship. He has it on the PC. I have it on the PlayStation 5. It is very difficult to control on the PlayStation 5. It's not really meant for a controller. And I feel like they could have optimized it a little bit better. I understand that this is a very good game. Like everyone I know that's playing it seems to love it. It's probably not for me in the sense that it's just, I don't need 4 radial menus every time, when I hold the R1 button, and there's just too much. There's too much I don't know. And there's no hand holding in this game. And you get very lost very quickly. So yeah, I just don't know if it's for me. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I just don't know if it's for me.
It's fair enough. Chip, have you played more?
I played a little bit more, but not significantly more on PC. And I mean, we talked about that previously when I was playing on PC. I was really curious how that was going to translate, because there's a lot of buttons and a lot of clicking and
yeah, like when you get into combat,
it feels like a PC game.
When you get into combat, you go and it's that, the turn-based fighting. But when you highlight the enemy, it just says, hit X to attack. But it doesn't tell you like what any of your special. It's not like there's like hold R1. Like it's not like Diablo style where you can push R1 or whatever to do one of your special moves. You got to hit R1, which will bring up the radial menu. Then you got to push L1 twice to go to the furthest to the left radial menu. And in that radial menu, you'll see the option where it'll be like ice arrow. And then you have to select ice arrow. Then you have to exit out of those menus. Then you have to go to the enemy. Then you have to hit the attack button. And that attack will be that ice arrow. You got all that?
No.
Yeah, it's a lot simpler on PC.
Yeah. Well,
It
traditionally,
still doesn't
This is
hold
a
your
pain in
hand
the
very
ass.
much. It doesn't hold your hand very much, but
No.
you can
Control it.
experiment a lot easier on
I
PC.
mean-
And like, oh, I clicked that. I'll click this the next time and see what happens.
traditionally, there's been they delay these games on the console so that they can, come up with like a, not just a different control system, but you got to work out kind of like a different camera system, and there's a lot of things to work out on the console side. So usually they come out later, but I'm sure like it's much better to put these all out at the same time. You have the big marketing push. You do it all at once.
Especially on a game that was so well reviewed.
Yeah, but-
so many people seem to really love it, which is great. I'm not poo-pooing the game. I just don't think it's for me.
Yeah. I really want to check it out. I hear it's got couch co-op on PS5.
It does. I will probably rebuy it
Ooh.
when it drops in price a little bit for consoles. But I'm not sure. I think Mrs. Shipwreck, we played a lot of the Dark Alliance games, and I think she's going to come in with those expectations of it being that type of game.
No, you
And,
cannot mash the buttons.
Right. It is not that type of game.
R1 is not the potion button that's going to bring you back to life. You can't spam it. That's what I do. That's what I do in Starfield, by the way. I spam the fucking med kits. I'll buy like just 15 med kits. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. I've been playing another game on PC called Par for the Dungeon. This is a much simpler game than all these other ones that we've been talking about. This is a puzzle golf game, essentially. So you play as a anthropomorphic golf ball character, and essentially the courses are almost like mini golf style courses, and there's enemies and you have to defeat all the enemies to unlock the hole, so you can go into the hole on each course. And you get things like as you go around, you get coins, and as you pick up the coins, then you can activate your powers like bombs and arrows and stuff to shoot the enemies. And it involves a slight bit of planning, and for the most part though, it's click a button and pull back for power and aim, and then let go and watch your golf ball go about its business.
Sounds cute.
Yeah, it's cute. It's a good it's got enough thought to it to where you're not doing anything, but doesn't overthink the gameplay mechanics.
Right. Cool.
Like you think it's got that like, oh, I did that well sense to it, right? Like you can get through the level, but like when you line up a shot and you land in between like two enemies, and you're like, oh, there's like a wall there that I could throw a bomb over and get those enemies and not have to take like extra shots to get around this corner to hit them with the golf
It made
ball.
you feel smart.
Yeah, it makes you feel smart.
That's nice.
It's got that going for it.
Like
Yeah.
Wordle.
Unlike Baldur's Gate 3 for a while.
That game just makes me feel so stupid. I'm just old.
That sounds hard.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to check it out though. Baldur's Gate 3. Maybe not the golf game.
Yeah, check out the golf.
Par
game
for the
if you want
Dungeon.
to. Yeah.
All right, we're at the CAG bag. It's CAG bag time. This one is from Darren Liff, and I think someone else wrote in about this as well. He said, I often listen while driving, and when you guys talk about what you've been watching, I'll inevitably think that sounds good and then forget what it was by the time I get home. Would it be possible to add those titles in the show notes? And someone else wrote in basically reminding us that we used to actually link to the show notes in the forum thread. And I guess I stopped doing that at a certain point. So I'll do that again so I can limit my extra work. Just one extra link. And then you can have you can see, take a peek back behind the curtain and get all the info you need. Dammy Pass writes in, hello from Sydney. Been listening since 2007. I was 14. Love you guys in the show. Question, is the show more of a fortnightly schedule now? I know life happens, especially over summer and the holidays, but I feel like weekly shows are rare now. No, I think, just over the summer and, we don't always, we get busy and we don't always have stuff to talk about. So
now it's game season though. The games are going to be coming out.
Right.
Yeah. If we get the games, we'll do the shows.
And if I have to tell you, you mean if we play the games?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
I thought you were like bribing the or like blackmailing the publishers.
No, not the
so listeners, you better write in to what's the big game that hasn't come out yet? I don't even know.
The next big game that's coming out.
Alan Wake.
No, there's another big game that comes out very soon, and I have already heard back from my contact there that I am in the second wave. So it won't be probably not release week, but the week after. But I'm still very excited for it. It's one of my favorite games.
RoboCop?
No.
Oh.
Popeye.
It is not.
Oh, I forgot to talk about my my $10 Walmart pickup. Like at Walmart now in the checkout aisles, they have impulse buy portable gaming systems. Like
What?
that are loaded up with games. They look like a Game Boy, like the original Game Boy, right?
Oh, does it have girl?
It does not have girl.
Oh.
What it does have is like it's got 200 games. And probably about 40 of them are just straight up copyright infringement. Like here is Popeye. Here is the Popeye game from Nintendo. It is
How do they just
there.
sneak that in there?
There's Excite Bike.
What?
You want to play some Spy Hunter? Got Spy Hunter on there.
Huh.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for NES.
How's the handling?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, it's not the best emulation ever, but it plays fine. You can play some Arkanoid.
How does that happen?
It's happening in Walmart right now.
I mean, I could understand that happening on like a street corner, but how does that happen in Walmart?
I have no idea how they didn't catch this at all, but it's right there. Every checkout aisle, as you're checking out, they're in every aisle.
I'll have to look next time I'm in a Walmart.
It's amazing too. It's like $10, and this thing has like a rechargeable battery in it. It's
Right.
I don't know, like 3-inch screen, 200 games built into that thing, and like I haven't gotten through all 200 of them, but most of the ones that are the licensed games, they didn't change the names of. I think I found a couple that they changed the names of, but
Popeye.
it's just straight up. Yeah, there was a what was it? There was a game called Pikachu, the space in between, that was actually, I don't know, I'm sure it's a ROM online. It's some version of Tetris where Pikachu is just dancing around while you play Tetris.
I like the multiple copyright violations in one game.
Yeah.
What do they do with like Popeye? They just call it Popeye, or
It's just called Popeye.
oh yeah, fuck it, why not? Well, Popeye is like in the public domain now, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think the NES game.
Oh, not the game. I just mean like the
I don't think the
character.
character is either.
Oh.
No.
No.
No, he's not Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good, like, because I totally bought it for $10 thinking like,
$10.
what is this thing that's gonna, what is this gonna contain? And yeah, sure enough, I'm just like playing Excite Bike on this thing, and I don't think it has any, like, they didn't throw like Zelda or Mario on there, that from
They
what
don't
I
want to push
found
their
so
luck.
far. They didn't like go quite that far, but I was playing Fantasy Zone. Fantasy Zone's on
Oh,
there.
nice.
Oh, God.
Sega.
Yeah, like they're equal opportunity. Like I think that there might be a Bomberman on there. I can't remember.
Is there an elevator action on this?
There is
thing?
not. There is not. I specifically looked for that one.
Is there a joust?
No, not by name.
Okay.
There's a Paperboy. I played some Paperboy on it.
Now, when you say Paperboy, we're talking NES version, or
Yes, the NES version of Paperboy.
Okay.
Like it literally comes up with the the title screens
All
that
right.
you
Gotcha.
remember.
These
But
aren't
they've removed,
arcade.
like, the
This is an
Nintendo.
arcade emulation.
No, they've removed the Nintendo from the like
That's
copyright
nice.
thing from the title screen.
So it doesn't have the Nintendo seal of quality, is what you're saying.
No, I don't think so.
Good.
They might have a separate game in there that just shows the Nintendo seal of quality.
Right. Probably. All right. Well, keep your eyes out in the Walmart checkout aisles for a lot of copyright infringement. And I don't know. I guess we'll see you next time.
All right. Bread's done.